ask is because clearly you have to be cognizant of that, because when you're constantly selling yourself, who is your audience,
I mean, that's an issue for me. It's something that, while I enjoy very much the challenge of figuring out my branding and my voice, at the end of the day, you have to just kind of let go and be who you are and hope the audience finds you. And I hope that my audience is finding me, and we'll see after the special is out there for a while if I do finally kind of connect with my chorus and most pure audience. But I don't know, because all the things I've done in my career have been different audiences. It's like I was on Chelsea Lately for 7 years, and the audience there was like gay men and women. Mm-hmm. And then I'm on Idiot Test, and the audience became older, and it's more older couples and families. And then my show actually is bringing a much younger demographic to GSN, but it's still not MTV. It's not it's not known for its 18 to 29-year-olds. Mm-hmm. And then I do a lot of political things, and there's people that are into politics that follow me, and my podcast is political, but I'm on Smodcast, and so I have a little bit of that like more stoner crowd, and more of the like film nerd crowd, and the crowd that's more into the folklore of all these different pieces of media that become part of the lexicon, and those are all things I'm interested in, but that's very wide range of audiences. Mm-hmm. And I've never really known exactly how to hone down, because I want everybody to enjoy my comedy, and I think everybody should. I try to have a smarter kind of comedy than a lot of them, but also there's a lot of energy and a rawness to what I do on stage, and I don't know. You have to tell me who my audience is, I guess.
Well, I think it's really interesting. I mean, I'm just getting to know you now, but we have a lot of similarities in our careers. I am not funny. I'm not unfunny. I'm just not funny. I was raised watching television, and then also when I started my career, I was sort of raised in my career as you're going to entertain a lot of different types of people. Television is for the masses, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm imagining that's kind of where you started as well. It's sort of like I'm imagining you're going to the comedy club and you're looking at your audience there, and then you're on television and you're doing your political stuff, and that was the idea. Now it is not. That is not the concept. It's not
it's all about the long tail.
Yeah,
it's all about finding your niche audience.
Yeah,
right.
as you were saying, you don't know who your audience is. I'm thinking, well, I know you've got a lot of Twitter followers, and you could probably to some degree figure out who they might be there. But that only is one section of your fan base.
That's one section of it. Plus, I don't know that Twitter gives you demographics of who is following you. Facebook's better at that, but I don't even think Facebook really narrows it down. It's just hard. It's hard to know, and it's honestly that should be above the pay grade of a comedian trying to make it, but it's not. It would be great if you could figure that out. And it's even occurred to me lately, like, I wonder if I should seek out the services of like an online branding company, because I do it myself, but like I'm not great at like coalescing all the people that I'm broadcasting out to into one thing. Like, even on my podcast, it's an ongoing joke, the ever-growing list of nicknames for my fans and my followers. Every time I go into the Twitter answers round, because most entertainers always just are giving information. I think of it much more as a two-way conversation, mm-hmm. and I love to engage. I've always am impressed and half depressed by how smart and interesting and funny people out there in the Twitterverse are, and how people online are just pretty clever. And I just happen to be the one pursuing it out of the group. So I ask them a question every week on my podcast, and I call it Twitter Answers. The audience answers. Whenever we go into it, I go, we're going to check in now with the Brain Trust, the Gleib of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the Friends with Benefits, the Gleib Squad, the Be Gleibers in all of us, the Gleib Mob, the Glob, the Gleib Nation. And it's great, funny names, but that's 12 brandings I'm trying to put out there at once. A smart person would choose one and run with it. I am not that smart. I like messing with form, and I like the humor of having all of those. And people choose whatever hashtag they want, but it's not the way to do it. So that's what I'm trying to, with this comedy special, focus more on hashtag neurotic gangster and see if maybe I can get something sort of trending for once.